So this video is going to be talking about how I'm going to get into Amazon FBA, how you create your own luck, and how I'm probably going to be the first multi-millionaire in my family ever. So if you want to stay tuned to that, watch this video. You don't have to. I'm literally just making this video for me so I can look back on. But if you want to learn some free game, stay and watch the video. So I'm getting into something called Amazon FBA. If you don't know what Amazon FBA is basically just being an Amazon seller. You know, you can either sell other people's products on Amazon or you can sell your own product from like Alibaba or something like that. So that's basically the consensus of Amazon FBA. I don't even know if I used that word right, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later, right? But anyways, okay. So I have tried a number of businesses. I've tried going to Goodwill and reselling clothes from there and trying to make a profit off of that. I made a couple of bucks of doing that. You know, I'm not gonna say like life-changing amounts of money, but you know, it kept me out of the water, kept me from drowning. So I did that. I tried YouTube automation. If you don't know what YouTube automation is, bro, YouTube automation is basically just making brain rot content on YouTube Shorts or long form. So I tried those two business models, and I tried plenty of more stuff, and I tried to go viral with content. You know, I tried to be like the next Mr. Beast, and that's how I was gonna, you know, change my entire trajectory of life. That's kind of how I first initially started. But now I want to try an actual business model. I'm not saying all the other business models weren't, you know, business models that didn't work, but all I'm saying is that they were very quick. You know, in my head, I thought I was gonna do it for like 6 months, and the next thing you know, I'll pop out and I got like an SVJ or an 812, and I'm just like cruising around California or something like that. Like, that's how I thought it was. I'm like, bro, I had to change that mindset. So I'm starting Amazon FBA because I know Amazon FBA is first. It's a high startup cost. You need a lot of money to start, around like 10K. Like, the more money, the better, obviously. You can start with a little bit, you can start with less, but it's going to be really hard because it's going to be hard to scale. It's going to be hard to get more inventory. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. So, anyways, I'm starting Amazon FBA. I'm currently saving to get my first product because first, it takes time to save, to get the money to save and actually start. 2, you got to be consistent. Like, your first product is probably not going to be successful. You know, probably not in your second or third. But if you keep trying, you will be successful. And I also try that because I feel like, for me, I wanted a boring business model. I didn't want something flashy, you know. I didn't want to be a super ultra mega day trader, or super ultra mega drop shipper, you know, and post a bunch of guru stuff, I guess. That was what I wasn't trying to do that. So I always wanted like a sort of a boring business model that can kind of work for me. Wow, I really don't have to put too much effort into. And I found Amazon FBA, and I've been watching Kevin Pak a lot, and he's basically just been kind of motivating me to start Amazon FBA because he just recently bought a new house. Bro, that thing is nice. But anyways, more of the story is how I'm gonna get into Amazon FBA is basically, bro, get a job. You know, a lot of people think you gotta do like some flashy way to make money, but like, you don't. If you need to get into a business model, get you a job, work for it, and then start the business model. Literally quite it, bro. It's the method. Just get you a good paying job. I mean, the job literally can suck. You know, you could be an oil miner or something. As long as you're making good money to put into Amazon FBA, you can do it. You know, you could do it if you're like younger. If you could just literally just, you know, save all your money from working at Pizza Hut, I guess you could do that. But you know, if you can't do it that way and you're like an adult like me, I'd suggest get you like a manufacturing job, work at Amazon, work at something that pays you a lot of money. And probably the job is not the best, but you know, they'll pay you a lot. But that's how I'm gonna end up doing it. You know, I'm need at least 6K to get this Amazon business going. And I'm being more consistent with this channel, so if you want to bring back vlogs, let me know that also. But yeah, anyways, that's how I'm gonna end up getting Amazon FBA, and I haven't really researched a product yet because I feel like it'd be a waste of time to research a product now if I don't even have the money to invest in. So right now I'm literally just learning from Kevin Pak. If you don't know who Kevin Pak is, basically he's just like a guy who does Amazon FBA and teaches people how to do Amazon FBA at a time. Like, he's really cool. It seems like a cool guy on the internet. But yeah, and that's how I'm good at getting Amazon FBA. It's not really too much of a big deal. You know, I'm just talking about it now so I can put that out there so, you know, I can hold myself accountable. And then kind of the second topic I want to talk about is like how you create your own luck. Like I've been thinking about this a lot. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people like see these rich people and be like, oh, they got lucky. But like, for the most part, they're not wrong, but they don't see what kind of went into that luck, you know? So, I mean, to get lucky, bro, you know, even to win the freaking lottery, you gotta buy the ticket, you know? You gotta buy probably a lot of tickets, because the first person that probably bought one ticket probably didn't, you know, win the lottery. They probably bought multiple tickets. They probably bought thousands of tickets before they actually hit the lottery. So it's like, you gotta think about that. And I had a coworker I used to work with at this old manufacturing place I used to work at. At the time, I was like 18, and he said, luck is when time meets preparation. So it's like if you're not prepared and the time is right, you're kind of cooked. It's not going to happen. So he's basically saying like you have to always be prepared for the right time. So, you know, if you want to get rich, bro, start businesses. I mean, that's like the whole like people, they spend their whole lives thinking about, oh, I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. Well, start a business, you know. Or if you don't want to win the lottery, bro, buy a bunch of tickets. Buy a huge amount of tickets, you know? But, you know, you got to be prepared, I guess. So, you know, let's say I do find a good product, you know? And I don't have the right amount of money. I'm not prepared. So I just missed out on a good product that somebody else got because I'm not prepared. And that was a perfect time to do it. So it wasn't prepared. So I feel like you create your own luck. So to get lucky, I feel like you have to be obviously one, prepared, and obviously two, in the right time. So people get lucky every day. So I don't want to hear like it's a rare thing, like it doesn't happen to everybody. Like, bro, people get lucky every day. Like you being born was like probably the luckiest thing to happen to you, you know? So that's how I feel about luck. I don't really necessarily feel like, you know, you just stumble on just a bunch of money. Like there's no, I don't think there's not one person in this world, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be wrong. There's not one person in this world that literally just like was walking, oh, look, generational wealth, and just kept going. Like I just don't believe that's true. But yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about luck. And you can like argue me in the comments if you want. I mean, I'll gladly defend my point. But that's just how I feel about luck. I feel like you create your own luck. If you really work hard enough, if you really put in the work, if you really put in the time, you will eventually get lucky, you know, quote unquote lucky. But that's literally how I feel about it, bro. That's how, okay, I just literally told you how to start. Amazon FBA, how I'm going to start Amazon FBA. Obviously, I'm going to save money, get into it, and whatever. And then I was talking about how I got to create your own luck. And that's genuine how I feel about that. Those two things. First is like more of a personal update, and then second, that's more like what I feel about just life in general, I guess, and success, you know. So I feel like if you want to be successful, bro, and if you want to get fit, get lucky, like people are always like, oh, you got lucky with your genetics, and it's like some buff dude, like, bro, yeah, he probably got lucky with his genetics, but at the same time, he still went to the gym, you know, he still showed up every single day. Or, you know, people who are born in generational wealth, you know, it's your job to sustain that wealth. Obviously, you got lucky by being born into wealth. You know, I feel like that's a part of that's where it's really just luck at that point. But, you know, they print $400 million a day, the Federal Reserve does, if you live in the United States. So you don't really have an excuse, bro. I mean, you probably don't have as equal as an opportunity as everybody else from the start, but on the long run, you will have 100% an equal starting point. You know, not starting point, but an equal run, bro. You get the same amount of seconds as everybody else. You know, like the guy who waits to go to the gym, you know, once a week versus the guy who can't afford the gym and works out at home is always going to beat the guy who waits once a week to go to the gym, you know? But that's how I feel about that, bro. I kind of just wanted to do a little update on here and just talk because obviously I want to be more consistent with the channel. I don't really know what kind of content I want to post. I know I want to post vlogs in my daily life, my updates and stuff, because I'm not trying to use this channel to get monetized or anything. I really just want to gain a following on here and show you guys that it's really possible to create generational wealth. So if you feel like that's something you actually want to see, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, you know, interact with the post, share it with your friends, because I'm literally telling you, probably 2 years from now, bro, you're gonna look at this video and be like, oh my god, this guy did it, you know. And I'm gonna have like a super big old Amazon seller account making like 500K a month, you know, and have like a freaking $1 million a month coaching plan, you know, and have like all my social medias monetized and everything. We travel the world. You're gonna see me do a bunch of crazy stuff. So if that feels like, if that's something you want to see, subscribe. I don't really know what to tell you, but that's genuine how I feel it. I'm gonna keep talking about Amazon FBA because I kind of ingrained it in my mind that I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I'm done yapping. That's my little spill for today. I don't know what else I said I was gonna talk about. I'm gonna find this video. Well, I'm gonna find this video. I'm gonna see what I'm talking about, and then I'll restart it. Okay, so I guess the third part of that video was supposed to be how I'm supposed to be the next multimillionaire in my family, but I kind of just spilled the whole beans of how I told you I was going to do that. Amazon FBA, coaching program, monetize social medias, giant investment portfolio, a giant stock portfolio, you know, stock portfolio, Section 8, real estate, like everything, bro. I'm literally doing everything. Yeah, and then obviously once I get there, I'm going to be going crazy. So subscribe, bro. That's all I'm going to say, because if you don't subscribe, you're missing out on the great journey we're about to go on, bro. And I swear to God, if you guys help me get to a certain following, or if you guys help me get to a, I guess, certain milestone in life, I'll literally give back 100-fold. I just gotta start Amazon FBA first. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do what you need to do, bro. Thank you. Also, thank you for the last video. It did really well. I really hope it kind of put my name out there a little bit. It did really well. But thank you all for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Like, subscribe.